And then people act like they don't understand that I like booty. So what? But
Hello class, today we are making an anime-only review of Rainbow Nisha Rokubou no Shichinin. Some people claim it to be a masterpiece, others drop it, others don't even know it exists. If I would pinpoint the problem with this series, it would be that it's too dramatic for its own good. Meaning, the series relies on exaggerated drama and shock value to be attractive. Characters seem to lose their brain cells and motivations just for the sake of creating a dramatic scene. As this happens more and more throughout the series, the less enjoyment we get from it, to the point of hating the main characters. Before it starts, please remember to leave a like, a comment, or a subscription. The first problem of this series is that the drama really has no nuance to it. The context of the plot is these 7 teenagers end up as juvenile cellmates and are at the lowest point of a post-war society that is ruthless to the powerless. Ishihara, one of the guards, is of course the biggest perpetrator of this. He's the main antagonist for the first half of the series and has absolutely no nuance to him. He's a child cartoon villain, just evil for the sake of being evil. He abuses his position to beat up our cast and does it with a twisted enjoyment. We later found out the motive behind it and it couldn't be more stupid. Other characters in the anime also portray the role of villains and they have the same level of nuance and stupidity. But their evil doings are more grounded in reality. Human trafficking, child abuse, prostitution, scamming, and robbery. Their character design usually displays the same evil facial features anyone imagines a cartoon villain to have. Our main protagonists are always portrayed as victims of society. Always. Their character designs have big emotional eyes to convey emotion and pain. Automatically, the anime tells us that they are the good people of the show. They are the ones to root for. Well, unfortunately, this is also childish. These kids end up in juvenile prison and are no saints for sure. The first episodes show us the crimes that led them to end up there. Some of the crimes could even be considered morally right. There was an opportunity in the series to reflect on the innocence of the characters and unfairness of the justice system. Like seriously, Joe beat up his own rapist. Or someone that was trying to rape him. Ain't that a good cause for self-defense? Doesn't matter. This show is kind of obsessed with rape, and we'll get to that. But we skip right over the personal dilemmas of each character might have to make them get along with each other. Except for one of them, my favorite character. There is no conflict between them, no opposing views, no character development. They become brothers and fight for each other for absolutely no reason after an initial ass whooping in the first episode. Guys do get along when they fight each other, but not that much. With cartoon villains and cartoon heroes, the drama that occurs in this show is obviously very simplistic. The bad guys try to take advantage of the good guys and so the drama begins. How do the 7 cellmates overcome that constant evil harassment? By relying on their brotherhood. On paper, it is a good team for a series, but it is executed way too many times. Because at some point of the series, we gain 7 protagonists instead of a group of 7 main characters. Let me explain. After overcoming the first villain, the second part of the show happens with our cast free from jail. The character journey of our 7 protagonists is to achieve their dreams despite starting at the lowest point of society. According to them, being in juvenile is the lowest point of society. They weren't discriminated to get jobs or anything. Nothing happened to them. They weren't begging for food. They weren't starving. They got clothes. Still, they are the lowest of society. Doesn't matter. The problem is that each of them starts their own path and faces their own problems. Thus, they have their own cartoon villains to overcome. Since most of the time they can't do it by themselves, they are always saved by their friends. This becomes a narrative problem. Even though each character has different struggles, why do they keep on making the mistake of not relying on their friends? Because it leads to drama. Because the friends coming to the rescue will make the scene more beautiful. Because we need to hammer to the audience the theme of the show and not to the characters. So the characters for us, the audience, start to seem a little bit brain dead. Oh, you fucking did not do that shit. The problem, obviously, at least for me, stems from the narrative being separated into 7 parts. The finale of the series shows exactly that. We just end up at a point where all the characters are finally working towards their dreams. Unfortunately, since any of their previous struggles were connected to each other, all of those previous individually focused episodes felt like an after credit, especially because they follow the same narrative path. There was no internal conflict for the characters in almost 14 episodes. There was no character development. There was just external conflict generated by cartoon villains and evils in society. Then, once again, the Brotherhood would come to the rescue. This could have happened for 30 or more episodes, and it wouldn't make a difference. With 7 main characters and several cartoon villains, this series becomes a pile of brain-dead drama. Here are some examples from each of the 7 main characters. Sakuragi Rokurota, An-chan, was constantly being arrested in jail because he has a letter that could be important evidence to put our cartoon villains in jail. Does he do it? Obviously not. That is not dramatic enough. He delivers it to the cartoon villains themselves, so that they have no reason to go after him or his friends. Nice, I guess. Before you start judging, he was running from the police as well, so he couldn't deliver it himself, right? It's not like he has any friends to help out. So I get it. I kinda get it.
I get it. Shit happens.
Mario. Oh, Mario. He's the king of stupidity. Unlike the games, using his head is not his best skill. Like, imagine going to jail for 2 years, then face 7 more for beating up a teacher that raped a girl because she didn't press charges. I know it is a sensitive decision for the person who was assaulted, but the rapist was still out there teaching young girls that might not press charges as well. Yeah, bro, what the fuck is wrong with this anime? Even the dumb character gets it.
でもさ、どうしてマリオはそのこと言わなかったのかな。だって人助けしたんでしょ。ちゃんと話せば特徴に入らずに済んだのかもしれないのに。
Okay, next victim. Uncovered or Baremoto. I love this guy. What a motherfucking legend. This guy went on a character development moment in the beginning of the series to not be distrustful of people. Of course, that development came with its own stupid moments, but he never would have guessed that he would betray his own brothers. Over booty.
And then people act like they don't understand that I like booty. So what? But
This guy was borrowing money from his friends and stealing money from his mother to spend it on a prostitute. And you know this? His mother was once a prostitute to make a living. That's why he didn't trust people. Oh, Baremoto, he is his own character villain. That's all I can say. It's okay for characters to have flaws, but damn. And he is supposed to be the smart one.
今日お前の息子に会ったよ。自慢の息子に。だから
Sorry to disappoint you, Dad, but yes, all he has in his head is booty.
When you go to prison, see, inmates in there that have been in there a long time, they sit there and think of ways to get booty, man.
Now, Joe, deciding not only to belong to a band that bullied him, but also trusting a music producer protected by the Yakuza, which he never laid eyes on. He trusted this lady just because she had a business card, and his first recording was somebody lip singing. Oh, and of course, by her demand, if he wanted to be a singer, he had to stop getting involved with his brothers for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Well, when his ex-bullying band comes to beat him up, surprise, surprise, the Yakuza are nowhere to be found. Why? Drama. Hitai, Soldier. This character gets absolutely no screen time and almost does not have moments in the series, much less stupid moments. Bro, this video is bigger than the screen time he gets already. Cabbage or Kabetsu, this character knows he's stupid, so he relied on his brothers to do the thinking. Well, sometimes he really shouldn't, but the only time he did think for his head, he thought it was a good idea to join the Yakuza to be a more masculine man. Let's just stop at that. Finally, Turtle, Supon. This guy was a support character for most of the series and he does not have many brain dead moments. But in the end, he gets his moment to shine where he decides to work as a loan shark. By himself. Remind you, he is the size of an average child on the show. Is he a legend for it or just stupid? Who knows? The show portrays it as a legendary moment. He bites some cartoon villain into paying his first debt collection. They do nothing to him after he lets go. Why? Dramatic scene. In the end, I seriously recommend people to watch this anime twice. The shock value of the first watch will make it seem amazing, especially because of the opening and overall direction of the anime. And when I mean the opening, I mean the opening song. The opening song is fire. But the second watch will really feel weird and over-exaggerated. Well, that's it for today's class. You're dismissed.